Good day, everybody. We're going to be starting here in a minute or two. Just giving people time to get on and welcome. Got a great story for you today. Good day, everybody. We're just giving people some time to get on. We got a wonderful story for you today. And, I think you guys will really enjoy it. We're just giving people time to get on, and then we're going to jump right in. I hope you guys are having a good one today. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you go ahead and hit that button. I got a feeling throughout the remainder of this year, we're going to be covering all the topic scope is just going to be, we're going to be all over the place, I think. And I'm just like, wow, okay, this is great. It's, because it gets a little boring sometimes when you're just talking about the same topic over and over again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us as always here. Anytime we go live, I was just sitting here thinking earlier today, I was like, man, this, I was born and raised on the East Coast. So, when it was 3 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock. Or when it's 4 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock. This thing is like, oh, I'm at noon, noon our time, they got our family and friends on the East Coast. Your day is almost done. This is almost done. So it takes me time. I'm like, okay. All right. I got to speed up. So I'm still getting acclimated to it again. It's really something. But anyway, we'll get it. You're here. I'm here. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us today. And in this broadcast, we're going to talk about this story that I came across on TikTok that I found to be very fascinating. And it was very encouraging. And boy, do we need that in this day and time, don't we? Because like I was saying in the description of this video, in a world where there's so many people on social media, I don't know if you've noticed this, I'm sure you have. So many people that are committed to, America is about to burn, y'all. It's coming down. It's coming down. It's happening. It's happening. We're just all praises. It's happening. And I'm sitting up here like, okay, but what's your plan when the nuke strikes? You know what I'm saying? Or just highlighting failure after failure after failure with no solutions. I can't stand that, But what we try to do here, we will talk about the problems, but we also try to provide the solutions. And one of the ways we have been doing that is we set up a page, and we created our own store. It's called Samba Tree. And Samba Tree is basically our own store, because we got tired of seeing so many of our friends, our family dying. I really don't think that's sinking in to some people, because, and I say that in light of the, you know what, that they force upon a lot of people. And the fact that a lot of people aren't really angry about that, it just befuddles me. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, there should have been you want to talk about a civil war. There would have been a real civil war instead of a movie about it. You understand what I'm saying? That we will be talking about. If people started waking up and realizing, you know, what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't get it. But anyway, so you know, so we've just got tired of that. We've had people in our family that, you know, we know that they died way too soon. A lot of our people here, you know, that are carrying sicknesses and diseases that, quite honestly, you shouldn't be carrying. One of the things we've done is focus on, you know, building up, you know, focusing on things like diabetes, blood pressure, that kind of thing. And we have invested a great deal back into the people in addressing those issues. And the amount of testimonies we're still getting back from customers, from people who are just saying, man, you know, I'm seeing it, you know, and so it's just a wonderful thing to see that happen. And, you know, you just have to be committed to it, you know. So what is Samba Tree? Samba Tree, in a nutshell, is basically an online store where, you know, we just have a ton of all kinds of healthy options for our people, you know, ranging from powders to teas to herbs to just a whole ton of things. If you take the time and go through it, please do, because you're going to find a whole bunch of things. And each one of these products, we put a whole lot into the description. So if you come across something, let's say like pearl sea powder, sea pearl powder, sorry, when you click on it, which we have a sale, looks like we going on that right now. It's not like, oh, it's seafood of the sea pearl powder, and you click on it. A lot of people ain't going to know what this is. Is that baby powder? What is it? Well, we put a lot into the description. If you read it, it goes through all the details on what it is. And I mean, and these are things that everything that we have in the store, these are things that we test out here, you know, with our family first. And if it's something that we find effective and it works for us, then we say, you know what? Let's pass it on to the people and let's get it to y'all. So we got all kinds of things. We got things for the body. You know, there's all kinds of things for that. And we are committed to presenting things that are as close to 100% natural as possible. And we're always adding new things to the store, even when it comes to look, cracked heel repair cream. Some of y'all out here, I know you got some crusty heels out there. You take a coin or something and knock on it, you will hear that little, you'll hear it. You know, you got that crust now. It's okay. It's okay. I ain't there, but it's okay for those of you who do. Well, we got something for that, something 100% natural. And we're, you know, we work very closely with some of the labs here to make sure that what they're putting in these products are, in fact, is no trickery where it's like, you know how some of these lotions, they put things in there that make your skin more ashy, you know, so that you can buy the product more and more. No. We peeping all of that out, and we saying, no, it's our people. This is the standard that we want to make sure that our people are getting. And as you guys just found out recently, we just, for the first time, store-wide, have just raised our prices up, because we're also very committed in keeping the prices at an affordable level, because our goal really is not to become billionaires, millionaires maybe, but you know, it's not to become that, but our goal is to see the sick become well. It's to see our people rise up to a higher level of wellness and health. That's the main goal. That's the main thing that drives us And that's why we do what we do. Even in dental care, we got all kinds of things when it comes to that. So if you haven't taken the time to go through the store, please do. There's one product in particular that I do want to focus on, and it is Guinea Hen weed. Now, some of y'all have heard about it and some of y'all haven't. But for those of you who haven't, let's talk about it. We have it back in stock. And if you click here, what is Guinea Hen weed? First of all, what we sell, it comes in a 45 gram pouch, and you primarily use it as a tea. You can drink it as a tea, and the instructions are there. And let's read some of this on what Guinea Hen weed, what it provides and what it does for you. Guinea Hen weed benefits are simply amazing. Many cultures consider it a miracle herb. It has the potential to be effective against different types of cancers, such as lung, and I already say cancer, right? So from this point on, if I'm referring to cancer again, I'm just going to say the C word, because again, they don't, the YouTube people, they don't like that. They don't like us promoting stuff like this. So we got to use code here. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about when I say C word. It has the potential to be effective against different types of C words, such as lung C, breast C, brain C, and others. Modern C treatments kill the C cells and unfortunately kill the healthy cells at the same time. Guinea Hen weed only focuses on diseased cells and leaves the good ones intact. Guinea Hen weed can also combat different degenerative diseases like Parkinson and Alzheimer's. It has also been shown to be effective against arthritis and diabetes as well. It has been proven to lower blood sugar levels. Those are just a few of the benefits there. And then it goes on to say here, studies on the Guinea Hen weed plant have shown that extracts of Guinea Hen weed slow the growth of leukemia cells, such as well as other forms of C-word tumor cells. The plant was also confirmed to possess cytotoxic effects, the ability to actually kill off C cells. A 2012 study confirmed its ability to kill a liver C-word cell line, as well as slow the growth of C cells in the brain. Other studies demonstrate its powerful immunostimulant properties. Multiple research studies confirm that NAMU extracts can stimulate immune cell production, as well as boost natural killer cell activity by 100%. That's a lot, ain't it? So if you don't have this in your cabinet, if you don't have this at home, you definitely want to get this and add this to the mix for sure. And just an all around great thing to take in on a regular basis, to top things off as far as your health is concerned. So Guinea Hen weed, we got that back in stock right now. And again, if you haven't been to the website, make sure you check it out. It's sambatree.com. Now we get into our story again. For those that are just tuning in, we're going to get to our story. It's a great story about this woman who has made herself the conduit of bringing her family back together. And I thought it was a wonderful story, and I'm about to show it to you. It's just a couple more things I want to mention right quick, and then we're going to jump right to it. The other day, I think in the next week or so, we're going to be releasing another product on Samba Tree, so just stay tuned for that. Now, the other day, I had something going. It was last week. I think it was because I fell asleep on my knee or something like that. I don't know what happened, but one day I woke up, my knee was hurting. I was limping. I mean, I was like, dang, what the heck happened? Did someone smack me in my knee while I was asleep? I couldn't figure it out. Now, I told you every day what I do is I go, I spend at least an hour a day in the sun. At least an hour a day. I'm laying out on my chair, just basically no shirt, just getting that full energy of the sun, right? And one of the things I remember reading about, sun exposure and how it repairs the body is when it comes to muscle pain and joint pain. And he said that, that it will fix it basically. Well, don't you know, I went from limping, and this is just in 1 hour. I went from limping to when I got up out of that chair, I was straight. I was amazed. I was like, whoa, it was like just that quick. And so again, I cannot emphasize enough, if you are not an individual who's making the time to expose yourself to sunlight on a regular daily basis, you need to do that. I know it's comfy in your house. You know, you got the AC on and you got your drink and you got your TV and you got your cell phone. You can get on your little Facebook and your Instagram and all of that stuff. But honey, you need to get your behind outside so that you can get so your body can get everything that it needs, right? I had this other thought too. You know how there's different species of plants? There's some plants that require a whole lot of sun. And then there's some plants that, you know, that just require just a little bit of sun. And I was thinking about my own, like the difference between my wife and I. Now, my wife, you know, her skin is a little bit lighter than mine's. And so when she goes out, she can only take but so much, you know, and then she's like, oh, well, I got to get in. You know what I mean? But for me, as dark as I am, I'm laying out there and I'm like, okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like no burns, nothing like that. And I was saying, man, isn't that something? When we look at nature, a lot of times nature will it's all laid out. It's like we're like plants. I think people are like that too. There's some people, when it comes to the amount of sunlight that is required for them, they may require a lot more than those that maybe have a lot, you know, lighter skin. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was really interesting. So, but one of the things that sunlight is definitely good for is building up your immune system. Okay. So we're actually going to be launching, starting this week, I believe. We're going to be doing a campaign on building your immune system. I'm gonna make it fun. I'm gonna make it interactive or whatever, but it's gonna be, what does the challenge is getting you to build up your immune system. All right. So you're gonna be seeing some things being posted on the community page. You know, we're gonna try to make it nice and fun and interactive and all of that. But the end game is to get you to focus on building up your immune system, because all of this wickedness and foolishness that they're saying that's going to be coming down the pike within the next few months, the next, family, listen, don't be sitting up here and reacting at the last freaking minute. Please don't do that. They have been telling you, they have been telegraphing, they have been messaging, they have been telling you that, listen, there's another thing that's coming down, and they've already got the infrastructure and everything all in place. And we've been talking about this in our group on Threema. Okay. And, where we're just focused on this thing. So the information is there. Okay. So you or your family members should not be all of a sudden you're surprised and shocked. They've been telling you. All right. So what we want to focus on, and what we've been focusing on, is attacking fear itself. Let me say that again, because now it makes me mad. We are going against fear itself, because that is the mechanism that these wicked, demonic people use the last time to get your friends and family to fall into the trap. But this time around, we got the experience, we got the know-how, we got the information, and now we ain't bowing down to that anymore. Are you with me on that? Okay. So we're destroying fear itself and ignorance. Fear and ignorance. We're done with that. Okay. So now you got the information. All right. So so that's why we want to focus on building up your immune system, and doing things like exposing yourself to maximum sunlight and drinking your water and taking some herbs and things like that. Because when you know that your immune system is built up, it doesn't matter what these fools tell you. Everybody else will be sitting up there. I think I'm catching something. And don't you know you can think yourself to be sick? Yeah, you can do that. And that's what happened to a lot of people. I think I'm feeling something. You can literally, your mind, fear has a direct correlation to your body. It does. And you'll start feeling things. I think I'm catching something. I think and it's all because of fear. So what do you got to go after? It ain't the needle. You got to go after the fear. You got to go after the ignorance. The fear first. The ignorance, that's going to take a minute. It just is. But the fear part, we're going to have to go. We're going after that. Okay. So let's ride and let's go and let's take care of that. Okay. So now let's get to this story here. One of the things that we have been saying on this platform is if you want to repair the breach within amongst our people, okay, black people, whatever you want to call us, right? If you want to repair the breach, if you want to, it ain't stop listening to these people who want to spend 99% of the time talking about death and destruction to this nation, to this system, and all that other stuff. Of course, none of us really like this system and all that other stuff. We get it. Okay, we're all on the same page on that. But if you can't provide for me practical solutions on how to fix and repair my own household, the stuff that's going on in my household. You got folks in here right now that are divorced or dealing with the sting of divorce. You got people who are dealing with sexual molestation. Well, molestation, I'll just say that. That's kind of redundant, right? You got people that are dealing with harassment. You got people that are dealing with all kinds of things, right, that need to be addressed. But if your only response to that is, honey, just read a scripture. Honey, trouble don't last always. Honey, one day, he's just going to take us all away from all of this other stuff and it's going to be all right. No, we got to deal with this stuff right now. Do you hear what I'm saying? And a lot of these voices that you hear, they want to get you thinking in the future. We're trying to get you to think now to repair this stuff now. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that is what religion has done, is by getting us away from thinking about now. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with fixing what's going on at home. So anyway, so with that being said, I want to play this video here for you. I thought was really fascinating. Let me go ahead and turn this up. I thought this sister here, she has her own channel, and I think she has a healing center or something like that down in the Caribbean somewhere. I don't really know a whole lot about her at all, so I'm not, don't say Dwayne sent me here. No. She has I saw a singular video, and we're going to look at the video, and that's all it is to it. Okay. But in this video, I thought it's right on time. So without further ado, let's get to this video and check it out.
In 1990, my parents went through a really bad divorce. And after that divorce, I and my father ended up disconnecting. We didn't have a relationship for about 28 years. My kids didn't know him, my husband didn't know him. And in 2020, 30 years later, I went through my own healing journey. And after that journey, I reconciled with my father. And today, I am actually cleaning up my house and prepping because I have invited my mother and my father to be here together with me so that we can continue the healing that I started in 2020 with my father. But it's important to me as their daughter that they have healing with one another. And I'm going to be the catalyst for that. I'm going to be the link in the chain for that, because it's not enough for me to heal with my father. It's not enough for me to have a relationship with my mother. It's important to me for my children and for my children's children to come, that those two, while they're living on this earth, can have a civil relationship with one another. I'm outside walking because my mom and dad are now in the house having a conversation about how they feel about one another and their past. And I think things that have been held in for maybe 30, 40 years are being said honestly now. And I wanted to give them their privacy to do that. And I trust that they're being respectful of one another. I'm here with my father, Henry, and my mother, Thelma, and we just spent a day and a half together. Was any healing accomplished here?
Yes. Difficult task, but a task it was, it is. And from my perspective, there's been some understanding. and I'm looking forward to more understanding.
Well, it's helped me to look at things from the other person's perspective. That my perception is not always the accurate perception, but it's what I see and what I hear. So it's helped me to know that I have to actually look at things through the eyes of the other person rather than just through my own.
As the mediator for my parents' reunion yesterday, it was strange to watch them speaking calmly and rationally at a kitchen table over breakfast, remembering how there was yelling, cursing, stamping out of the room, shutting down. I'm not listening to you. I don't hear you. I don't believe you. You're lying on me. I don't want your pity. I don't want your sadness. To 12 hours later, after sleeping and talking with my brother, talking with me, them realizing they could heal and they could communicate with each other. They had to change how they received communication from the other person. I now know that I was guided to bring my parents together with me, with my brother, on purpose, not only to heal our family, but it was to be a tool to help other families heal their trauma. And a lot of it is based on frustrating trauma for adults, parents that are in their 70s and 80s now, that was probably never addressed or treated or handled. And then they became parents and they did the best they could with what they knew and they had with these unhealed emotions and beliefs and things within them. And this is the time to listen and heal that. Period. In communicating with each other, giving each other space, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, listening with the true understanding of what someone's saying, not the way that they're saying it, we can do miraculous healing. And when we heal in our homes and in our families, we will absolutely heal our communities. We can't heal our communities as unhealed individuals trying to tell someone else what to do. We have to do the work. And that's the only way this is going to work.
I do love you.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let me get to that last part there. It was them hugging. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Don't like y'all.
Absolutely 100% right. Absolutely 100% right. The healing starts at home. Home is the home base for literally everything in your life. It is everything. From everything from your identity, your cultural identity, who you are, to your makeup, how you think, how you act, how you do things. It all starts at home. That's where everything starts. It doesn't start online, because what you're looking at online are people who have been so disconnected from their home oftentimes that they make up this fantasy thing. This is why online, a lot of times when you see people's names on here, they don't use their real names. And I ain't calling anybody out here, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm not shaming anybody here, okay? But I'm saying this to make a point. Even the people that you interact with, to a certain extent, you're not really getting the full them. You're getting a side that that they want you to see. But in the home life, you see the whole thing. And in that, that's where you get to learn and you grow and all that. There may be some butting of heads and all of that, but the whole package of who you are, it begins at home. And like I said, what you're seeing, unfortunately, is this generation is that people are learning how to build their own makeup by going online and seeing all this foolishness that's out here. And so this is why you got 40, 50, 60-year-olds that are out here shaking their behind and wearing these tight, all the craziness, some of the stuff I see. And the children, even though they're acting up, they really don't have, elders, if you will, that they can look up to, that can say, that give them some guidance, because the elders themselves are trying to get it on and pop it. You understand what I'm saying? But in this story here, it was just so great to see. Here you have, even though she's an adult, grown adult, she was able to say, you know what? Let's snatch this back. Even though the parents should have done that, right? But thankfully, the daughter was saying, hey, listen, it stops with me, and I want to go right to the root, and let's try to huddle this in, and let's try to and fix this. Because by bringing all that together, now you're restoring relationships, you're bringing healing, you're bridging, you're adding bridges now, because she was saying that her husband didn't even know her father, because that's how scattered everybody was. And so things like this it doesn't get a lot of clicks. A lot of people don't like this. If I did a thumbnail and it was like a big fireball coming down from the heavens and destroying the earth, and then people will be all into that. But stuff like this is the key to really bringing healing. It starts in the home. And I challenge you. I'm challenging every last one of you that's on this live right now. How many of the religious platforms that you watch on a regular basis really gets to these kind of topics like this? Now, I'm not saying that to elevate us or anything. I'm simply saying that this is really what matters at the end of the day. It starts at home. Now, for some of you, I understand it's not easy. It's not easy. It usually isn't. But there's some of y'all, there's things that you need to get reconciled before you check up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And for the sake of your children, even if your children are grown, they still, for their sake, you need to step up. For some of you, you know what I mean? Some things, just be honest. Some things maybe it's just too far going. You know what I mean? But for others who can, this is now the time to do it. It really is. And I was so heartened and glad to see a story like this, get out there. I mean, it wasn't even a whole lot of clicks on it, quite honestly. But it was really good to see that. The other thing that we emphasize too is, the importance, and one of the things she's mentioned is that she herself had to get counseling. And I can't stress that enough, because mental health is something that's very paramount. It's very paramount. During the last lockdown, the amount of mental health cases, it skyrocketed. Why? Because they told people to stay out of the sunlight, right? You got to stay indoors, and you can't go out anywhere. And, they had people wearing plastic and all this other stuff. You can't touch anybody. You can't look somebody in, whatever it was, right? And so the rate of depression went straight up, right? And so what I am telling you, okay, is that what's coming down the pike right now, they're trying to do this all over again. And so you have to make sure you're doing everything you can to make sure that depression doesn't take another seat up in your house, and most importantly, in your heart. And so if you need to get counseling, if you need to sit down with some professional individuals, I ain't talking about your pastor, all right? Not your pastor. If he ain't no professional in this field, he needs to go sit down somewhere, or she need to go sit down somewhere. Because the stuff I'm talking about, it ain't just a simple laying on the hands and it goes away. Some of y'all need to have this. You need someone that you can talk this stuff all the way out. And by doing that, it can bring a way of healing. And then from there, you'll start seeing other things begin to happen, because, and the fact that if you're hearing this, that means you're responsible for it. All right. This message was specifically for you. And so I was very glad to see that story. And I thought it was I really hope that it gets out there and more people, maybe they'll follow her example in that arena there. Okay. So yeah, her name, I forgot. Yeah, I meant to tell you that. It's right here. She's on TikTok. Althea Lawton Thompson. Althea Lawton, Lawton Thompson. I'll say it again. Althea Lawton Thompson. That's her name. And she's on TikTok. And I think she has some kind of healing center or something like that. I don't know anything about her. I don't, but yeah, if, just wanted to, make sure credit was given, to her putting that up there. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. I just wanted to do that for you. And thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, you guys take care, and I will see you again soon. Take care now. Thanks again for tuning in.